Okay, good evening YouTube and welcome to episode 52 of the FPL family. I said you've got to be ready.
I wasn't ready.
I said as soon as the whistle blows you've got to be ready, and you're still doing your stats and you're still looking at your team.
I was getting my photo of my team so that I know what I'm talking about.
Well, if I were you, I'd be taking photos, snapshots, I'd be framing it, I'd be putting it on the wall, I'd be dancing around the streets naked with a score like that. That is unbelievable score
Let's all
from you
thank
today.
goodness that you haven't got a score like that then.
God,
People are going to dance around naked.
Lukaku and Lingard have made it bearable, I think. Bearable. But we are going to come to your score later on because that is incredible, guys, by the way. Incredible. Good evening. How are you doing? Welcome to the FPL family. Episode 52. Episode 52. It's going thick and fast. We've probably only got a few more streams left to go of the season.
Don't say that.
We've probably only got what is it? 4 game weeks? 5 game weeks? With 2 streams? 10 streams? That's about it. And then we're probably done.
35, 36, 37, 34.
4. So probably only a handful. Less than 10 to go. Less than 10. Still haven't decided what we're going to do over the summer. Might do something. I don't know. There's got to be some sort of World Cup, FPL family. I don't know, scouting for next season. You know, how much is Mo Salah going to be? 14 million, who knows?
Well, we're just going to pluck numbers from thin air, are we, until it starts?
Oh, well, I think Salah's going to be an absolute fortune, isn't he, next year? How are you going to get Kane and Salah in your team next year? It's going to be so difficult. It's so difficult. But, guys, you're very welcome. My name is Lee. This is Sam, as I'm sure most of you guys know. We will come and say hello to a lot of you guys in a minute. I'm not even prepared because, look, the screenshot on the left is our channel, which is not a bad thing because it's nice to promote the channel. But for you guys that are there, I guess you know about the channel if you're here already. So what I'm going to do is
the people that are watching us on our channel,
they should know about the channel.
Will know about the channel.
However, that screenshot does say 950 subscribers. So thank you guys if you've already subscribed. Thank you very much. And I think that's a good 20 or so more than when we last vlogged. So that is awesome. Thank you. Can we get 50 more in the next 4 game weeks? Can it happen? I'd love to get it. Be great, wouldn't it? 1K subs in the year. Be brilliant. But I'm going to flip over to FPL Family Twitter. Just as we were coming on, I did say to you we should set up the Instagram page. We should set up the Instagram page because we can tell the guys about Instagram at FPL Family on Instagram, and you can tell them all about your wonderful Instagram. But I'm not logged into your Instagram on my computer, so and you didn't know the password. You didn't know the password to Instagram because your phone keeps you logged in. You just check it on your phone, right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to log in another device, can't do it.
Well, I've never had to log in on another device before.
So
I'm not entirely sure what the password is, so I'm going to have to go and think about what that was.
Oh, goodness me, all right.
So hopefully by the time we vlog on Sunday, I'll have remembered what the password was and you can log in.
You'd have figured it out. So if you'd like to go and check out at FPL Family on Instagram, you'd be very welcome to do that, and we'd like you to do that. At FPL Family on Twitter as well, and I'm sure most of you guys are already following us on Twitter, so thank you for that. So what can we say about this game? I was going to say hello to a few of the guys.
It's not finished. I think we should start by saying that. 2 more games.
That's quite right. So we've got Chelsea and Burnley still to come. Burnley-Chelsea actually, because it's Chelsea are away, right? So yeah. It's at Burnley, Turf Moor. Sorry, it's late. My brain is going to be frazzled tonight. It's just going to be even more verbal diarrhea than normal. I'm absolutely sure of it.
Did you hit in the head while you were out?
Well, no, I didn't. No, just on the leg, thankfully. But the other game is what? Leicester City versus Southampton. Okay, so there's more potentially Vardy points there, but who knows? Maybe a Mahrez point. Who knows?
Well, I mean, he'll play, so we should get you 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Although Sanchez didn't play, so
Lots. Yeah. I mean, we'll come to the game we've just seen. I mean, we've been watching it, haven't we? Sort of on and off in the background. I've been out, but just come in and saw the last few. Saw Lukaku come on and get the goal. Makes my game week a little bit of a happier place, but still far from the glory that is your game week. But we're going to come to that in a second. So what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about the couple of games that we've seen since we last vlogged, because the Spurs game was kind of interesting yesterday as well. We're going to talk a lot about the free hit, guys. The free hit, simply because we are both on a free hit, aren't we, for game week 35?
I'm not telling you what I've got though.
Well, I would expect nothing less. But I will be sharing who I've got because, frankly, I'm at 350k, nothing to lose. I might as well just share it.
No, I don't mind sharing mine.
I've kind of enjoyed the free hit actually. I don't know if you've enjoyed it. It's been kind of nice to just tinker without any sort of repercussions. It's been quite enjoyable, I think.
To be honest, my free hit strategy so far has been on Tuesday afternoon. I got in a load of players and I haven't looked at it since.
Oh, right, good. You've just been worrying about your current squad and your 116 points you've got this week.
I think you'll find that actually I made one team and thought, well, they look decent.
Well, do you know what? I think it's. I think I've got. I don't know whether you guys agree. Tell us if you're on a free hit. Tell us. But I feel like I've got too much money. If that makes.
I've got 3 million in my bank.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do with it.
I feel like I'm, and I want players like Zaha, and I'm getting long at the back, and I might be looking.
Oh, you're getting long now, are you?
Of course I am.
Oh, right.
I'm all over that goal machine. But I'm doing picks. I'm trying to be a bit different with like the Balassis and the Baineses and the Zahars and the Perezes. So because I'm doing that, I feel like I've got a lot of money in the bank, got a lot to spend. But so anyway, we'll talk about free hit strategy later on. I don't think it's as easy as 3 City, 3 Liverpool, couple of Arsenal filling. I don't think it's as easy as that. It's rotation galore in this game.
I think there are some obvious picks he will not be rotated.
Oh, blimey. Okay, well, I'm interested to hear what you think about that in the live chat and who you think there's going to be rested. A couple of you guys might be saying there's a bit of a lag in the sound. Tell us if that gets any worse. If it gets any worse, we might reset the camera and have a quick break. But hopefully it's okay for you guys. So let's say hello to you guys that are here. So lsst is here. Chris, good evening. How are you doing?
I hope Joseph's treating you kindly on the seat front.
Yes, hope the little man's all right. Salah Mohammed is here. Good evening, Salah. Michelle is here. Dave Smith, thanks for rejoining us, Dave. Mark Back 76, good evening. How are you doing? Josh is here. Thank you, Josh, for joining us. Carl Sagstad is back for another FPL family live stream. Thank you, Carl. MU Fan TV, a regular to these streams, an absolute regular.
Always
so
here
thank
now.
you, MU Fan TV. Always tuning in. Beautiful stuff. Cy Greggs is here. Thanks for joining, Cy. FPL Az is here. If that's Az from the Fantasy Football Scouts, then you're very welcome, Az. Thank you for joining us. Andrew Yee is here. Peter Gray is here. Who else we got? Vinyl Richie, a regular to the streams. Thank you for joining again, Richard. Hope you're looking forward to the game tomorrow. Got a feeling it might be a bit of a damp squib.
He's a Chelsea fan, isn't he?
I've got a feeling it might be a bit of a damp squib. Did Chelsea really want to go to Burnley on a... I was going to say a cold Thursday night. This happens to be...
It's going to be 27 degrees tomorrow.
I think it's going to be really nice here tomorrow.
tropical.
I think it's going to be nice. So actually, they might be off for that, the Chelsea players. Who knows?
Minus Alonso, of course, by the look of it.
Well, yes. I mean, he's been charged. Has he got the ban? Is that nailed on there?
It was 6 p.m. tonight, wasn't it, that he had to respond to the claims.
But he has been charged, hasn't he? He has been charged. And rightly so, I think. It was a naughty one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
I mean, he had till tonight to say whether he was accepting or not of his fate.
Okay.
We'll see.
We'll keep an eye on that. Not much we can do now. He's locked in the teams, of course. And we obviously won't be free hitting him in for 35, of course, without the game. Whether he stays in our squads for 36 onwards... questionable, in my opinion. Questionable.
You're Chelsea, a double game week in 37.
Yeah, Chelsea not exactly keeping a lot of clean sheets. So Jeff is here. Good evening, Jeff. Thank you for joining. Felix is here. Thanks, Felix, for joining.
Do you know Jeff had no Man United players in his team?
Oh, okay. That might sting a little bit tonight, depending on...
No, I don't think it's gone too badly, actually. 2, is it?
Okay.
It's not horrendous. It could have been a hell of a lot worse, I think.
Well, with Lukaku not starting, I mean, guys, what did you think? For those of you that have captained Lukaku like me, I mean, I was thinking, one Kane goal yesterday... and I'd be open with you, and you won't like me saying this, but I thought Kane looked a bit off it, actually.
Oh, well.
I mean, no, so if you look at his stats, I've read this somewhere, I think maybe on Twitter, that up until his recent injury, he was having something like 6 shots on target or on goal, maybe 6 shots on goal per game, and that's really reduced since he's come back from his injury. I'm not quite sure he's 100% there. Obviously, it's Kane, so he's still going to bang in goals, as we've seen last night, but worry for Russia. It's a worry, because face it, he's a already decent player, so it is a worry. Outside of Alex Oxlade.
So let's not worry about Russia. Let's worry about Wembley on Saturday, thanks.
Right. Okay. Very, very good. So Big Bro is here. Thank you for joining, Big Bro. Lord Vader is here. Thank you for joining. And a whole host of you guys. So again, thank you very much for joining us. So where do we start? I think there's only one place to start. We have to review your team. I mean, if it wasn't good before, guys, when we last vlogged on Sunday, and it was, you were up in the 70s, weren't you? 70, 79, maybe 80. It was looking very, very good.
Yeah, I can't remember now. I think it was on about 78 or 79, I think.
You were sort of pushing 80, and the rest of us are sort of down in the, if we're lucky, the 50s. The 50 was considered a very, very good score. Then you come to last night's game at Spurs, you've got Kane captain, you had Son who got the assist, you had Izquierdo who got the assist. I mean, the points in that game were just absolutely filthy. So we are going to have a look at your team. I
must admit, I was quite pleased after last night's game. I was went to bed last night, got up this morning, and FPL Fairy said to me, what's your game week rank? And I was like, I don't know, I'll have a look. 393?
Were you really?
393.
393?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
I nearly literally fell out of bed when I read that this morning.
That is a fantastic rank. I guess because of Lukaku it might slip a bit, but it's still going to be
absolutely will have gone down.
I mean, it's fabulous stuff.
I mean, I was at 10,191 overall last night. Will have changed tonight because obviously with Lukaku scoring. When I must admit, when Lukaku and Sanchez were both rested, I thought, oh, hello, I've absolutely dodged a bullet.
Yes, because a lot of people triple captain Sanchez.
Correct.
Actually. Or triple captain Lukaku, right?
Either or.
Yeah.
And then obviously when Lingard then popped up with a little assist on that first goal, I thought, hello. It's
beautiful, isn't it?
I'm happy with this.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it's what it is, though. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with them this week.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, my team is here. We aren't going to linger on that too long. Although I think I'm doing okay. To be fair. And Lukaku with the goal. Hopefully, there's some bonus points there. So I haven't looked at because we literally started as the whistle blew. I
think the last time I checked the bonus points, they were going to Smalling, Jones,
of course, Smalling,
and
Jones back in
Shaw.
The Babs. Oh, goodness me, Luke Shaw, really?
I can't remember. It was three. It was three defenders. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, all right.
Somebody will tell us. I'm sure somebody will tell us.
Somebody is bound to tell us on the live stream.
But I don't think it was Lukaku.
So we've got to talk through this team. So players to go. So you're right. I don't think Alonso's going to play, but you've got Vardy and Chilwell at home to Southampton, which looks very, very good. And you've got Long still to play against Chelsea. Who knows if Chelsea are up for that? Could be a clean sheet there for Long. Could be a 16-pointer. But currently 116 points, which is quite frankly phenomenal. Your game week rank, as you rightly said, was 393. Don't think that's updated yet. So
no, that was last night.
Slip a bit because of Lukaku.
100%.
I suspect.
It will 100%.
But you had De Gea. You've got Lingard. So there's a bit of slippage there, but it's not gonna. You're going to be up in the single thousands still. I mean, it's going to be phenomenal game week rank. 116 points. What do you want to say about the team from the last kind of couple of days? I mean, Kane, despite me talking about those stats and the lack of shots, he's there again, gets the goal when it matters. What did you think of that Spurs performance yesterday?
From an FPL point of view or from my personal Spurs fan point of view?
FPL first, and then I'm interested to hear your thoughts.
Well, from an FPL point of view, actually, that game couldn't have gone much better for me. Lots of people with Brighton defenders, that clean sheet went. Lots of people with Spurs defenders, that clean sheet went. The Spurs players that did something, Son and Kane, I had them both, captained Kane.
Yes,
got it the right way round.
Yeah.
Izquierdo with an assist on that penalty, so that was nice.
He played well actually, Izquierdo. I thought he was lively.
And actually,
very lively.
To be honest, from a personal point of view, I was actually really pleased when he went off because I thought he looked really dangerous. He did look dangerous,
yeah, absolutely. Very direct, isn't he? I like him. He's one to maybe put on the radar if we're going back there. That's FPL family history. One to put back on the radar there for next season. I think keep an eye on him. I mean, Brighton clearly going to stay up now. You think this? They've got a very difficult run in, so could be a bit of a catastrophic. Not catastrophic, but they might struggle in the run-in, and if Southampton and Stoke, get a few results together, but I can't see it. They will be here next year, I'm pretty sure. He's one to keep an eye on, Izquierdo.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he's not... He certainly turns up for me in both these games of the double, so I'm well happy with him. I did make a mistake with keeping Son over Sterling, and that...
Only just, though, I would have thought.
Well, Son got 6 and Sterling got 10, so 4 points.
Okay.
I think it's a lesson for me for game week 37, because I was, as you well know from, our conversations, but also what I talked about on my little video I did last week, I really undernarred with Sterling and Son, and eventually it came down to the fact that Son had 2 games, and in my head, I always knew that Sterling was going to be dangerous in that one game.
Yeah, sure.
And I think it's a good learning curve for me.
Son looked good again, though. I mean, he almost wanted to come on and make a bit of a point, I thought, yesterday, because he's obviously dropped him for the last game, and he is a workaholic, Son. He really works his socks off, and I wonder whether it's, Poch is giving him a bit of a game off or a rest in that first game. Can't remember who he played first. Who was that?
Man City.
Oh, yes, of course, in the Man City game. He dropped him for that, or rested him for that, with probably the FA Cup in mind.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think Son sort of, grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, particularly in that middle period of the game, to start the first of the second half. He was very, very good.
I think it's just for me, moving forward into 37, it's one thing that I'm going to be a little bit more aware of, is that, I did stay loyal to all 3 of my Liverpool players, and that massively paid off for me this week. If I'd have stayed loyal with Sterling, that would have paid off as well.
Yes.
So it's just something that, in the back of my mind, I'm going to keep there for game week 37 and not necessarily feeling the need to get rid of the bigger clubs that don't have a double.
Yeah, I think my learning from this game week is, it's the double, but don't get blinded by the double. Don't forget don't forget the single guys, because there's some really big hitters there in Liverpool and Man City, who throughout the season have been amazing, and we just kind of blindly ship them out for people that have got double game weeks, when actually those double game weeks are flaky. And at this stage of the season, with the Champions League semis going on, FA Cup semis, City already champions, there will be lots and lots of rotations. I predict over the last few weeks of the season there will be lots and lots of unhappy tweets, lots and lots of unhappy #FPL tweets on Twitter, because you're going to get Lukaku rested, you're going to get Sanchez rested, you're going to get Man City playing, I don't know, Phil Foden instead of Kevin De Bruyne one week and things like that. This stuff will happen. Liverpool will rotate around the Champions League. That home game against Stoke in 36, how do you predict that?
That's absolutely prime for it.
I mean, that's got rest and rotation written all over it.
Absolutely,
in my opinion.
100% it has. But I think from this game week, it's just something to consider for next. Even players like Miljokovic at Crystal Palace, another blinding game week from him, single game weeker.
Yeah.
Yet will be up there in the same sort of point score as somebody that's played a double. So
yeah, totally.
I just think it's something that we, as fantasy managers, we should be a bit more aware of. And I did messed up a little bit there with the Sterling something, but it was only 4 points at the end of the day. I suppose it could have been worse.
It is. Yeah, it's what it is. So we've got to say hello to a couple of other people that have joined. So Shuvik has joined. Hello, thank you for joining, Shuvik. He's subscribed as well, just as he was coming on. So thank you for doing that. So we're on 951 now, I believe. 951. El Stato says 86 points so far with me, with 7 tomorrow to play. Blimey, he's got 7 players still from those 2 games. Blimey, he's full of Southampton. Full of Southampton.
Yeah.
He's hoping for some safe
for a miracle
for his boys. Absolutely. Chris Cross, thank you for joining, Chris Cross. He's saying I'm on 106 points with 7 to go.
Excellent.
Flipping heck, that's pretty good, isn't it?
There's a lot of people.
That's pretty good.
There's a lot of people with double Leicester. Like I've got Chilwell and Vardy. There's a lot of that around.
And Williams pretty popular, isn't he? Burnley
popular.
Obviously popular. I can see how you'd have 7. I can absolutely see how you'd have 7, to be fair. So your team, I mean, what else is there to say about that? It's phenomenal. Looking very, very good. If the ranking, etc., is updated before the end of the stream, we'll go back to it and have a look at where you are in the game week, and we'll have a look at your overall rank. But that 10k was before this evening, right? It was before this evening, so it might have a little bit of a slip. So 116 points, very good. And we'll be talking about your free hit team in a second. Let's talk very quickly about what I want points, don't I, for my team. 90 points. The game week rank, etc., hasn't updated. I think, if anything, I'm looking at hopefully a bit of a climb after tonight, because I have De Gea, I've got Lingard, I've got Lukaku captain.
A good return.
It is, and I've kind of clutched something out of the jaws of nonsense, actually, because at the end of yesterday I was really concerned that I didn't have Kane captain, I didn't have Son, who I know was popular, so I'm thinking, oh, here we go against Red Arrow. But actually the United boys have kind of come through for me, having really Man United-ised my team with my transfers.
Got Lingard, De Gea and Lukaku,
and Lukaku, yeah, and let's not talk about the people I got out to get those guys in, because that is a tale of woe. But those 3 that I bought in have all returned for me tonight, so I'm pretty happy with that. Nothing for Callum Wilson again, but
well, you can't have it all,
goodness
darling.
me,
You can't have it all.
I
mean, Callum Wilson,
he's been 3.
He's been so prolific for you over the last few weeks that you can't have everything, can you?
He's absolutely terrible, isn't he? Absolutely terrible.
He nearly had a penalty tonight.
First transfer out of my free. No, he would not have got that. He's in my FPL team, so he's not getting that penalty, is he? He's not getting that penalty. He's actually jinxed by my FPL team until I get rid of him, which I have done. Obviously, on a free hit. I
literally guarantee you, if you get rid of him for game week 36, that he scores.
Well, obviously he's gone in my free hit. I don't think Bournemouth even play.
No, but when he comes back in for 36,
that's going to sting. When my team reverts back, I'm going to say, "Oh, Millie's back. That's good." I'm not having Millie going into 35. I don't think.
What?
But he's going to come. Well, we'll come to that. But he's going to come back in 36. Wilson's going to come back in 36. It's going to.
You're not having Millie for 35.
Well, I don't feel like doubling up on Crystal Palace midfielders, and I fancy Zaha over Miljokovic. But so listen. So,
I'll enjoy that penalty then. There we go.
So I've got 3 to play. I've got Mahrez and Chilwell, and I've got Loughton as well, which I think is pretty par for the course. Actually, I think everyone's got at least.
You need to sit a bit more towards me because your face is off the screen.
Oh, you are right. Yeah, actually, so I'll come a bit further this way. I'll bring the laptop. There we go. It's a bit better, isn't it? So 3 to play, 90 points plus whatever bonus points I get from Lukaku or Lingard. I think you guys in the live chat are saying there could be one maybe for Lukaku.
Oh, has he got into one, has he?
I think there's some rumour on the live chat here that he might scrape a bonus point, which obviously we'll take.
Well, that's all right for you, Pt2, wouldn't it? Captain.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take it. So that's where we are. That is the game week so far for you to play, and obviously keep in touch with us at FPLFamily on Twitter and Instagram. We will let you know.
How many you got to go?
3: Chilwell, Mahrez, and Loughton.
Okay.
So we will let you guys know on our other social media how we finish the game week, which obviously finishes tomorrow night. So let's move on to looking forward. Despite the fact we've got 2 games still to go and the game week is not finished, we have at some stage got to look forward to game week 35, which is another one that has been long in the planning. I mean, if the double game week 34 hasn't, that we've been thinking about that for a long time, in the planning that is. This game week 35 is almost as long in the planning, particularly if you've not got the free hits.
And do you know what I think?
Because you really have to work around that. That's tough if you've not got that chip for this game week, isn't it?
This game week there is massive discrepancies in players that have played their bench boost, players that have played their triple captain,
yes,
and players that have played no chip. There was the odd free hit team around that I've seen from this week. Not many, but there is the odd 1 or 2 here and there.
There's actually been a couple of guys that have tweeted me and said, what shall I do with this? I've got no free hit, and they've got like 2 players playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I just put the little prayer emoticon. I was just like, what can you do other than take an absolute ton of hits?
Yeah, but then you've got to be so careful with that. I mean, when I said to you at the beginning of this stream about Jeff with his no Man United coverage, that is exactly the reason why Jeff's not got any Man United, because he's got no free hit for next week.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
So,
absolutely. You can't really strategise it any other way. You've got to kind of go with that.
No, and I think from Jeff's point of view, and from the free hitters that are playing it the same way that the non-free hitters, that are playing it the same way that he is, are doing the right thing by just hoping that this game week didn't massively backfire. And I think he's just about got away with it. Nobody's gone on an absolute spree.
Yeah. So if you let's touch on this briefly, because there's going to be a lot of talk between us, obviously, and you guys, I guess, on the stream about who's in your free hit team, and I think that's going to be the majority of our conversation for the next 45 minutes or so. If you've not got the free hit, talk to me about what your strategy looks like. I mean, for me, A, you're struggling to get 11 out, but B, the ones that you get in, you kind of have to. I think two things for me. If you've not got the free hit in this game week, one is you have to look at who you think the big players are that are going to perform, that everyone else is going to free hit in.
Yeah.
And that's tough. But also, if you're going to bring players from those teams in, you're probably going to want to bring them in with a view to them having a double in game week 37 as well.
I equally agree with that.
So from a free hit perspective, I actually quite like the strategy that says, well, if they've got a game in 35 and you're free hitting, and they haven't got a double in 37, all of the non-free hitting people will not be getting those teams in. And I'm thinking, so Everton, Palace potentially. So for me, actually I need to check that Palace one, but Everton in particular one, that's where I'm feeling a bit puntier than I would otherwise be for game week 35.
No, Palace don't have a double in 37.
So Palace don't have one either. So I don't think all those guys without the free hit, if you've got the free hit, you bring those guys in, you Baines, Zaha, Millie, all those guys. If you've not got the free hit, I don't think you touch Everton and Palace with a barge pole, because they haven't got that double in 37. It makes it even more difficult to build a strategy for the next few weeks.
Well, you're just taking points hits everywhere.
Yeah, so we could end up with some fantastic differentials. I'm thinking like Balassi and a bit of a, what do you call it, a nostalgic pick, but Baines, Coleman, players like that, they could really be big differentials. Millie's going to be a differential.
That's why
Millie's going to be a differential.
Astounded that you're going to sit there. Sorry, Joe, I don't know, is Joe in tonight? Sorry if you are, Joe, but Palace have got Watford, who've not exactly been on.
On the last stream, Joe was telling everyone to pile in on Palace.
Well, there you are then. Do you know Watford haven't exactly been great at the moment? I'm doubling up on Palace.
Well, I am as well, but I'm looking at a defender for them, and I'm looking at Patrick Van Aanholt, because I'm looking at defenders that I think are going to get me some attacking returns, and I think there could be something there for PVA. That's why I quite like Baines as well. I quite like the look of Robertson, although he could get rotated. So look, listen, there's lots. See,
this is where I think this rotation thing is going a bit mental. It's the first game for City since they've won.
So before...
Do you seriously think that Pep's going to send out a load of nonsense?
Okay, so before we get to... So my team is on the left there, as it is. I expect that to change. You won't be able to see that, but you might be able to see that a bit better.
I've still not got my glasses.
So that's my team as it is. It will change, 100% will change. But that's what I'm thinking right now. 2.4 in the bank, like I said. I feel like I've got more money than I need, frankly. But
not got very much in common there.
Okay, that's good. I like that. But so before we get into individual players and teams, or individual players, tell me about your high-level strategy for the free hit. Is it as easy as... I'm assuming you've got a high-level strategy.
This is me. I don't have a strategy like that.
I've done a lot of thinking about this week.
This is your problem.
What, overthinking?
Yes.
Yeah, because Miljovic would get 2 goals, wouldn't he? And I'm thinking, should I get Zaha? He'll get 2 goals. But Twitter's been great for free hit teams and people posting their teams and tinkering this week, so it's been very, very good. One thing that I should point out, that if I was being really...
Go on, what have you done?
But if I was being really horrible, I wouldn't point it out to you, but I'm not, so I will. If you're on Twitter, go and check out, if you search for the handle at Anfield Express, I think it is, at Anfield Express, I think that's right. In fact, we're going to check it out right now, because this is kind of important. Here we go, Anfield Express. Yeah, these guys. So the reason that I want to highlight Anfield Express is because in the Everton game, in the Merseyside derby, which was between the 2 Champions League fixtures last time with Man City, they leaked the Liverpool lineup.
They did, yeah, because
way before the team sheet was actually there. It had Ings and Solanke, and everyone was just like, all right. Don't think so. Klopp's not going. He's going to rotate, but not that badly. And it was spot on. It was spot on. Now listen, I'm pretty sure that somebody in Liverpool is probably wanting to get that Twitter handle locked down. But I would suggest going to follow at Anfield Express here, because if they leak the team again for the West Brom game and the Stoke game, particularly the West Brom game coming into your free hit, that is going to be crucial, isn't it? That is going to be crucial. If Anfield Express leaks that Salah's not playing? All of a sudden, you need to switch to your plan B quickly and get in, I don't know, Mane and captain somebody else, right?
Well, yeah, but I think... Right, so I think Liverpool and Man City are somewhat different here. So there's the Man City thing. Now, I cannot believe that in the very first home game after they've won the league, that Pep is not going to send out his full-strength team to get that.
This is Man City we're talking about. Okay.
Right, so I can't believe that. So that's my thinking with City. This game, they've got nothing else to play for. They're not in any cups. They're not in. They're out of the Champions League. They've just won the league. Sat in their nan's house on Sunday.
Company, yeah.
So, or the girlfriend's nan's house or whatever.
Do you think it's so straightforward? I'm not convinced.
I think he'll play full strength side. Now Liverpool, I think, are a little bit more. They're a little bit different.
So let's do one at a time. So City, then you think it's De Bruyne, Sterling, Sané. It's got to be Jesus because Aguero's injured for the rest of the season. Potentially
had surgery, hasn't he? Yeah.
It's Otamendi at the back. It's Walker. It's Ederson. It's everybody. You think it is full strength 11. Go out there, play, express yourselves. Guard of honour, trophy, done.
It's not trophy this week. Trophy's against Huddersfield on the 6th of May.
Really?
Yes.
Why's that?
Because there's a cup final on at the same time as this game. Cup semi-final on at the same time as this game. So Sky aren't broadcasting that.
Oh, so City aren't getting presented with the trophy this weekend?
No, May the 6th
against Huddersfield. I didn't know that. Okay, very good.
They've got to wait until their next home game against Huddersfield because City and Swansea game. Oh, I've taught you something.
That's very good.
The City and Swansea game is being televised at the same. The cup fight is being televised at the same time as the Chelsea and Southampton Cup match.
Okay. So despite not having the trophy, they're going to have guards of honour and all. It's going to be a big party at the Etihad.
Yeah.
You think free hit is easy for City? It's 3 City and it's pick your favourite 3 City players.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with you. I just wonder whether Pep's going to throw a little curveball in there.
Look, he might take people off after 60 minutes to let them all have a standing ovation, but I can't believe that he's going to play randomers in this first game. It's a party, isn't it? I
just got to have a quick mention to Vinyl Richie. One of my favourite, one of my least favourite comments of the evening so far. The last home game is where you get the trophy. As a Liverpool fan, you wouldn't know that. Don't like that. Don't like to see that. There's banter and there's banter, Richard. Next year's our year. Don't worry. Next year's our year. So you think? So go on then. And you're free here.
Next year's your year.
Next year is always our year. You know what I'm like in August. I'm the most optimistic guy ever in August, and then by October I've had it. Same as the rest of the Liverpool community. Genuinely excited though for our team next year. I think it's going to be very good.
Well, and then so Liverpool. It depends if you take Klopp on.
No, I've not finished on City yet. So who are your 3 players for your free hit in City? So you're going 3 players from City. Bang. Who are you getting?
Sterling.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay.
The other one's not yet decided because part of me really wants to get a City defender.
Okay.
Guaranteed a clean sheet, pretty much. Against Swansea, they don't have much attacking threat. It's at home.
I guess so.
But then part of me also thinks I should really have another City attacking player. So I haven't decided. At the moment, I've got company.
You've got company. Interesting. Okay.
At the moment.
All right. Well, as you guys can see on the left-hand side, I've got Sané, Sterling, and Jesus. I don't know. It's subject to change. I'm looking at maybe Walker as a differential, or I don't know, Otamendi for a bit of goal threat potentially. But you know, I think I agree with you. I was being a bit devil's advocate there in that last exchange, but so I tend to agree with you. I think it's going to be a party atmosphere at the Etihad. I think they're going to be well up for it. They're going to play with the freedom. I mean, I said on the last vlog, there's only one thing more dangerous than City, and that's City playing with no pressure. I mean, they could just go out there and just knock it about, and it could be unbelievable.
I think so.
So Jesus, I think, is now done. I think for me, Jesus is in.
Well, with Aguero having had his surgery, being out for at least a month.
I think so. So he's more or less nailed. Sterling, yes, I think he's nailed too, and he's having such a good season. He's got an eye for goal. I fancy him. And then I'm with you actually. It's TBC, isn't it? But right now I'm on Sané just because, again, it's getting to that part of the season where I actually just want to have a bit of fun with this, and I like Sané. I think Sané's a class player, absolute class player. So I'm going with those 3 for now, but subject to change. Let's have a look before we go to. So we're going to go to Liverpool next because is it as easy there as just picking your best 3 Liverpool players? But let's have a look at what you guys are saying in the live chat. So Perez to Barnes. We're going to come to Perez in a minute, Dave, because I think he's in very, very good form. Although I think Newcastle as a team might be on the beach a little bit psychologically. Cy Greggs is saying Edison. Okay, Dave Smith is saying KDB.
Do you know KDB is my one. He's one that I am giving serious.
Do you know what? He's done nothing for weeks, has he? He's had like he's had a bit of a barren spell for 4 or 5 weeks. It would be typical of him to turn up and grab a brace, wouldn't it? Typical, wouldn't it?
I just think that it's an opportunity to have arguably one of the best midfielders in the game, let alone just in the Premier League.
That's true. 10 seconds. Salah or KDB Player of the Year?
Oh, Salah.
Salah, yeah. Good answer. Correct. What else are we saying in here? Correct. Vincent Kompany is the real differential, Shashank is saying. Interesting, okay. See, he's got a bit of goal threat about him, we know that.
Well, that I mean, this is part of it, isn't it? I think my free hit strategy, if I've got one, has kind of been to also...
if you've got one.
It's kind of also been to think about my defence a little bit more, because I feel like my defence, I've just kind of ignored them a little bit and gone for attacking threat and paid a lot more attention to my midfield and my strikers this season. And actually, for this free hit, while I've got the opportunity to think a little bit more carefully perhaps, about my defence, I might as well take it.
Okay.
So while I've got money in the bank, why not have a punt on company?
Okay. Well, Andy Nash is saying Sterling, Jesus, Otamendi, Gooood. Thank you for joining, Gooood. That's a new name. We've not heard you before, so thank you for joining. He's going Sterling, KDB, Jesus. So I think the general feeling... I think
everyone will get 3 City.
The general feeling with you guys is, yes, 3 City is the right thing to do, and it's just, pick your favourite players, I think, more than anything.
Yeah.
So that's City covered. Liverpool, more difficult, isn't it?
Depends if you take Klopp on his word, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Do we trust Klopp? Because Klopp said, didn't he, that he will play his full-strength team until you are safely...
Yes, he did. He said, I think he said he had a bit of a to and fro with a journalist in an interview, and the journalist was saying, are you going to rotate now that fourth is guaranteed? And he used the word guaranteed, and Klopp was just like, do you live in a different world to me? Or classic Klopp is just like, fourth is not mathematically safe, and until it's mathematically safe, we won't rotate. Well, we know there's a precedent against Everton. It's exactly what he did. He played Ings and Solanke and a few other guys. So, is he going to go into that West Brom game?
But he didn't say before that game that he wouldn't rotate, did he? He didn't say before that Everton game, I won't rotate my team. He never said anything about rotation then. He's been asked that subsequently, and he's now saying, probably because he dropped points in that Everton game, I can't risk. It's a risk, isn't it? It's a chance. If you drop, he had to bring on Firmino in that game. He didn't go well.
So Dave Smith is saying you have to bring the best duo back, Firmino and Salah. So guys, get on the live chat. Tell us who your Liverpool players are going to be in the free hit. Who are you bringing in, and what do you think about this rotation? I mean, for me, I think there will be rotation. I think there will. I think he's going to want to go into that home game against Roma with absolutely everybody fit. I don't think we're going to get quite as much rotation as we got in the Everton game because Robertson was rested for Clavan and things like that, right? But we know that Lovren's got a little bit of a back injury, so is he or is he not available for Roma? So I'm pretty sure he's going to play Clavan with Van Dijk at the weekend. So is Clavan at 4.1 a good option? I think if you're struggling for cash in your free hit, I think Clavan's going to get a game.
Okay.
Is Trent Alexander-Arnold going to play? I think so, but it wouldn't surprise me if he brings in Klein maybe for the weekend, because Trent is, the boy's only 19, do you know what I mean? You've got to protect him a little bit for that Roma game. Another big game, he's got to go and be another big influential player for us. So it wouldn't surprise me to see Klein coming in. And on the other flank, Robertson, would it surprise me to see Moreno coming in? No, frankly, no. I mean, I do think he's going to go with...
Robertson's already had a rest.
And that is it. And so I do think Robertson's going to play at the weekend, but... would it surprise me? So the point of waffling all this nonsense is which Liverpool players are any Liverpool players nailed on? Who do you have in the free hit?
Well, I've still got my three.
So you've got
Robertson,
Salah, Robertson and Firmino. Those three.
And currently I still have all three of them.
Out of those three, which is the biggest worry for you in terms of rotation?
None of them. I'm not worried.
God, goodness me. So 116 points and it's just like, don't care.
Whatever. I think they'll all play.
Klopp can do whatever he wants.
I think they'll all play. I'm not worried. I think they'll all play.
Well, and Jeff is saying this week is sounding more like a lottery. Hopefully, I'm not putting any doubt into everybody's mind, but
I think you've gone a bit free hit crazy.
Well,
suddenly, you think everyone's going to get a job. Not everyone's on the beach. Not everyone's heads in Roma.
No, I know. But so some of you guys are saying. So James Brady is on. Thanks for joining, James. Guna Weaver is saying Karius is surely nailed. I think that's nailed. So Karius is going to play.
You can keep it. Yeah,
so
yeah.
At the minute, I've got Hennessy in there. I'm pretty sure that's going to become Karius at some stage.
So you're going to have Karius and Van Dijk?
Well, and again, the reason I've got Van Dijk is he's going to play Van Dijk. He's got to. He's so thin at centre half right now. He's got to. Would I rather have Robertson? Yes, of course. But I fear that he's rotated. So, all right, maybe you just have one Liverpool defender and you have two forwards. Well, I think you have Salah because you kind of have to. If he plays, he hauls probably, and everyone else is going to have him.
He's had a rest as well.
And I think he will play. I think Salah will play. Firmino, I'm not so sure.
He's had a rest already.
I'm not so sure. Firmino is, and who said that? I just saw that. MU Fan TV, absolutely spot on. Klopp can't risk Firmino. Firmino is absolutely crucial to the way we play.
Yeah.
Absolutely crucial. Without him, Salah and Mane don't play the game that they normally play, in my opinion.
Don't you think Mane is at more of a risk of being rotated?
Yeah, I think Mane is a risk too. I think out of all of them, Salah's the least risk because, like you say, he's had that bit of a rest. But everyone's going to have him. So Firmino, because he's so important and because his work rate is so high, I think he's a risk. And I also think Mane is as well, because if you look at that Everton game before, Mane was the one that played actually.
Yeah,
it was Solanke and Mane. And Mane has played a lot of minutes since that game. So if anything, it might be his turn for a rest. So of Liverpool's fabled front three, I think Salah is actually the most nailed on. The other two, I'm not convinced. So then you go to the midfield and you think, well, do I want to go for a Henderson or an Ox or a Wijnaldum?
Well, Henderson's going to play because he's banned, right?
No, I think he had a one-game ban and he sorted that out against City.
It was just a one-game
I think
ban.
so. I think so.
Fine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the case. So he's going to be back. But again, we're a bit thin there. We're a bit thin because we've got, those three. But outside of that, with Chan is still injured and what have you. So I'm not. And those guys aren't exactly. You're not looking at your free hit thinking I want to maximise my points. So I'm going to get Henderson.
See, I don't know. I'm thinking it's West Brom. Klopp goes out, sends them all out. After 60 minutes, you're 3-0 up, haul them all off.
Yeah. So there's a couple of great comments in here, guys. Some really good stuff from you guys tonight. Cy Greggs is saying Ox as a differential. Absolutely. And he then goes on to say Milner. There's a guy, I forgot, there's a name there in the middle. Milner, potentially. And again, if Firmino... was going to say Firmino's rotated. Who's on pens? It's Salah, I think. But Milner's up there for a shout on pens as well.
The last proper Liverpool game I watched was that City game.
He's a Trojan. He's a Trojan, that boy. He's a Trojan, unbelievable, Milner.
Goodness me.
And there was another good point on there. So Anwanit, I'm not sure we said hello to before. So Anwanit, thank you for joining. Firmino has missed only 3 matches in 3 years due to injury. He's spot on. I mean, doesn't look that rotatable, does he, if that's the right word? He is so important, and he's such a good player. I mean, he's so important to where we play. Not in, by the way, the Players Team of the Year. I don't know if you saw that this week or today. There was a Players team. A lot of City players you'd expect. No Firmino, interesting, which I thought was a bit of a shame. So that's. I mean, any more to say about Liverpool other than I think it's difficult. I mean, I'm going to go in probably with Karius. I know, and a team like, it's weird, isn't it? Because a team like Liverpool, when you're free hit, you think I'm going to
get West Brom.
Against West Brom, how many attackers do I have? 2 or 3, and I'm thinking I want 1, and that's Salah. And actually, I might go Van Dijk and Karius. It just seems like a waste, doesn't it? I don't know. More on that at FPLFamily on Twitter as I develop my thinking around the.
Well, keep an eye out. I mean, I think it goes back to how much you trust in what Klopp says.
Yes, exactly.
So far, he's never lied to me.
No, and I like Amonit's point there. Firmino, he very rarely gets rested. It is unusual. He
normally goes out left rather than gets a rest.
Yeah, indeed. So that's Liverpool. Who in so you've got the 3 that you're currently on: Robertson, Salah, Firmino. Happy with that sticking?
I think so. Unless somebody tells me.
Unless Anfield Express comes up with some news.
Unless they categorically tell me that one of them is going to get a rest, then those 3 will be in my starting lineup for Saturday. All
right, so we've got about 15 minutes or so left. We've spoke about the free hit. We're thinking 3 City is a must. We're thinking 3 Liverpool is a bit more difficult, but it's a must.
Yeah.
And on that basis, I think we said this on the last vlog, because of that rotation, potentially in both of those sides, I don't know if you can really go into the free hit with a weak bench. You probably need 1 or 2 at least that could play. And Kevin Long is an absolute... I mean, it's a gem of a player to have, isn't it? An absolute gem of a player, because he can just be 4.0, sit on the bench, and if he does come on, then great.
Well, I've got, I think, a similar issue. Well, I don't know if you'd really call it an issue. I've got a similar, I don't really know what the right word is, but I've got too much money. So I've got 3, I think 3, might even be 3.5 sat on my bench and sat in my bank, and I've got 15 players that will play.
Yeah.
And I look at them and I think, actually... I feel like my starting 11 is strong, but I feel like my bench is actually all right. So if the rotation happens, then it happens.
Okay. So I want to. So we talked about Liverpool, Man City. There's a couple of other crucial ties. One is, and a really intriguing tie, Arsenal at home to West Ham.
Yeah.
Now the form book says home win. The form book says get 20 quid on Arsenal to smash the Hammers. Arsenal very, very good at home, bad away we know, but very good at the Emirates. West Ham, terrible away from home, not bad at the Olympic Stadium, but terrible away. The form book says pile in on Arsenal.
Yeah.
However, they have given up on the league, haven't they? I mean, my opinion is that Arsenal, and as a couple of guys I know at work are Arsenal fans, it's obvious they are prioritising Europa League.
Yeah.
So, how are you approaching? Well, let's do West Ham in a second, because I think there's a couple of differentials you guys can see that I've got on Arnautovic, who I like the look of. I thought he was very unlucky actually the other night. Arsenal first though, are you piling in or are you tentatively going maybe just Aubameyang?
Definitely Aubameyang.
Yeah.
I've still got Mustafi at the moment. Don't know about him.
So you've got a Mustafi and Aubameyang. I didn't think much of Mustafi, by the way, last game.
No, but he's one of my at-risk players for this little wave. He still may go out for somebody different. I don't know.
And actually, you could cover the Arsenal defence with Callum Chambers, actually. So Callum Chambers is, I think, a lot cheaper than Mustafi. And I saw on Twitter, so Andy, who also does the Let's Talk FPL live streams, that I know a lot of you guys follow as well, go and check out his channel, some really good stuff in there. He was tweeting about how Callum Chambers, over the last 4 or 5 game weeks, has had the most shots of the defenders, the whole of the defenders in FPL.
Is that right?
So Callum Chambers is up there having attempts on goal. No FPL points yet. But he's one of those that, he's getting in those dangerous positions, having those shots. So, and I think he's like 4 point nothing, right? He's 4.123, something like that. So Callum Chambers, you guys can see, oh no, I'm wrong, 4.7 he is actually, but he's still cheaper than Mustafi. I think I'm going to go with him as my Arsenal coverage at the back.
Yeah.
Because West Ham are that bad away from home. However, there's lots of howevers tonight, isn't there? You can tell I've done a lot of thinking about this over the last week.
Lee's been moaning a lot lately about how badly his season's gone.
Just generally.
This is why. Because he thinks too much.
I've been so involved with the Twitter community this year.
I've too much time thinking about it, and you overthink it and you complicate it more than it needs to be.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think I'm going to start a new Twitter handle next year, which is like, I don't know, FPL casual or something like that, and just make transfers just because I like the guy. Do you know what I mean? So Chambers, I'm bringing in. He's probably going to end up on my bench in reality, alongside Long. Might regret that, but it looks like that might happen. Because I fancy West Ham to get something. I do think.
Alongside Long.
Yeah, we'll come to Burnley in a minute. Okay. So Arnautovic, for me, was very unlucky the other night. He had one where he smacked it into Butland's face, and he, could have scored. He's getting in dangerous positions. One of the things we've got to consider is that Carroll came on, and did he get the goal? Yeah, he got the goal, didn't he? Do I think that he's going to start Carroll at Arsenal? No. Do I think that he's going to start Arnautovic in that front man position again? Yes, I do, despite the fact that Chicharito, I think, is available. I think he's going to go Arnie up top, because it's working for him. I think he's very, very good in that position. So I thought he was unlucky against Stoke. Stats look good. Arsenal focused on the Europa League. A niggling thing in my mind about West Ham being terrible away, but I fancy Arnautovic. I do. And I don't know whether they've got a double in game week 37. So that's something to have a look at. Let's see. Thanks to the guys at Fantasy Football Scout for their ticker. Let's find West Ham. Yes, they have. So there's a chance that if you're not on a free hit, you would bring in Arnautovic because he's a nice player to have for the double in 37. So he's not in that Everton and Palace bracket that we spoke about before. However, I still think that he's a good player to bring in. Thoughts on Arnautovic or general thoughts on that game, Arsenal versus West Ham? Which way do you see it going?
Arsenal.
You still think home win? You still? Yeah, I mean, that's what the form book says, but I'm not convinced.
I don't know that and this is why Mustafi is still at risk in my team, because I'm not set that Arsenal will keep a clean sheet.
Okay.
I can see West Ham scoring a goal, and if they do, I think you're right, it will probably come from Arnautovic, but Arnautovic does seem to be better against the lesser opposition.
A bit of a flat track bully, isn't he? Yeah, a bit of a but I haven't fancied Arsenal for a while now. I look at their general form. In a way, it's terrible. I think they've not got a win in this year. I don't think away from home or something, right?
Was going on about they've got the worst
away record in probably the Football League.
In the Football League
this
in 2018,
calendar year, yes,
yeah.
Because they haven't away from home because they've been terrible away from home. Different story at the Emirates, of course, and therefore we need to temper our interest in West Ham's assets. However, Arnautovic is one of the players in that team that I would consider.
Okay.
One of the players. So Arnautovic I'm definitely looking at.
I don't think I'm going to get any West Ham.
A nice point there by Mr. Bombastic, who's in the live chat, so thank you for joining. He's saying, Sam, don't dwell on having the extra money. I think you and I were both thinking this, actually. Keep the team you're happy with. If you've got money in the bank, don't worry about it. I think you go with it. Right? Yeah.
And that's why I found this free hit thing, because normally when I'm on a wild card or at the start of the season, I tinker a lot when I've got that opportunity to do it, and I mess around moving people in and out and overthinking it. This time around, because we've had such a chaotic week this week, it's literally been like, right, I've got to play my free hit, I've got an hour, go, make a team. And actually I sat there and looked at them and thought, I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, totally.
And there's a couple in there, there's the whole Mustafi's one I'm still pondering on.
Yeah.
But I think it'd be alright.
Okay, alright. Let's move on. Let's move on to Palace versus Watford. So I think we said in the vlog last Sunday, and I've said on Twitter a few times, that there are a number of teams now on the beach. And Watford are very much one of those. I think Joe would agree. Palace in a nice bit of form right now. I think it's at Watford this game, right?
It is.
But nevertheless, I still fancy Palace more than I do Watford in that game.
Yeah.
I really do. So on that basis, I'm going with Zaha. Sounds like you're doubling up with Zaha and Millie.
I am.
Yeah, okay. And I'm looking at Patrick Van Arnhout as a bit of a sort of random differential. I don't think he's been raking in the FPL points that much lately, but it's a bit of a nostalgia pick from maybe last season or season before, when he was a very, very attacking wing back and he got tons and tons of points. So no reason why he can't get into those dangerous areas again for Palace, and I think he is. It just isn't really translating into FPL points right now.
I think so, and I I don't know. I mean, that game. Sorry, Joe. I just don't see Watford having a lot.
Have you got any Watford players in your free hit team right now? You're looking at Kiko Firmino or Deeney as a bit of a differential? No, not going there. Okay.
Haven't looked at Watford because I think Palace will win the game.
Yeah, I do too. But I wonder, it's FPL this year, isn't it? I wonder.
Anything could happen, but I just think Zaha and Millie, both of them on great form. For me, there is absolutely no chance that Millie is leaving my team. The guy,
scores have been awesome,
it's like 9, 10, 11, 9. You know, I just can't see how you can take him out at the moment. Yeah. He's in really good form.
Absolutely. And Ammonit is saying go for Tom Kinsley. Actually, it's a nice shout, Ammonit. It's a nice shout. And I'm thinking flip-flopping really between him and Van Arnhout. I think Van Arnhout's more likely to maybe get an assist. He's a bit more kind of a down the wing and cross it in kind of guy, isn't he? And if Benteke's playing, he might benefit from that. But Tompkins absolutely got goal threat. I mean, the reason I've gone PVA is I wondered whether that getting Tompkins was a bit of a reaction to last game week. But as we've seen from Smalling tonight, it can absolutely happen. So Tompkins is a nice pick, I mean, absolutely. And I'm still undecided as to whether it's going to be him or Van Arnhout. But I think I am going to go for a Palace defender. I don't think, as I said before, it will be a double up with Palace defenders. I don't think Hennessy's going to end up making my final draft, but he's there right now. I just saw another point here about so Joe was saying we're not bothered now that we're safe from a Watford perspective. Another team that I think that potentially applies to because they're in very, very good form right now, but have just crossed the 40 points barrier. So psychologically, a Newcastle a bit of a risk now as well. I mean, I'm looking at, as you guys can see, Perez is a nice differential up front.
Yep.
Perez's scores recently, I mean, he's got back-to-back 12 points, I think, so he's looking in really, really nice form right now. Let's just find his points here. So 12, 12, 7, and then didn't get him. So short term, a lot of good form there. Nice pick, I think. And, I remember reading that a few weeks back, it coincides with his turn of form that Benitez had a bit of a one-to-one with him, a bit of a heart-to-heart, told him a few things about he needs to go and adapt his style of play and play with a bit more freedom. All of a sudden, 7, 12, 12 in FPL. So I like Perez as a pick. My concern is Newcastle as a team. Do you think they're on the beach in the same way that sort of Watford are?
No.
Now that they're psychologically over 40 points, you still think they're going to turn up for that game?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I do. I don't think Benitez is the sort of manager to let his team just disappear off on the beach.
Okay.
He's quite a... I don't quite know what the word is, but he's a dedicated bloke, isn't he? He's not... And I think the Newcastle team, like you said, they're on a bit of a run at the moment. They seem to be playing well. Why not?
Yeah, okay.
I've got two.
Okay. You're going to go 2 Newcastle players?
I think they're both going to be. Thinking? I think they're both going to be on my bench, but not necessarily through any fault of their own, but just because I've got too many other players.
Okay.
At the moment, I've got Richie.
Okay. Richie. Yeah.
And Yedlin.
Yedlin, okay. Don't fancy Lascelles or Dummett?
I did, but you could go with any of them, I think. Because actually, by the time I got here, I was kind of thinking about bench players, and I wanted sort of guaranteed starters almost that would cover any rotational issues that I may have in the rest of my team.
Yeah, okay. So Perez, I kind of like the look of Perez.
Going to play him or bench him?
Well, this is it. I mean, when I first pulled this draft together, like I say, I was eager and itching to spend all my money, right? So I had a mid 5 and a front 3. So I had a front 8 there, which was expensive, nice and expensive. Looked great, it did. Had all the big players in it. I looked at it and I just thought, well, who do I bench? Who do I bench there? And whoever I do is bound to bring in the points.
Yeah.
So in the end, I did think, well, I'll go a bit cheaper in Perez. I fancy him to do well. And if he's on the bench... He's cheap, so I kind of, I don't know, it's just my stupid thinking again in FPL. It's like, I don't know, he's on the bench, so therefore I wouldn't feel so bad about having benched him.
Well, I don't think you could bench Jesus over him, put it that way.
No. Yeah, I think of that front 8, right now it's Perez that's on the bench. Vinyl Richards just made a really nice point. He's got Kennedy, and he said, what about that he's on loan and therefore won't play once we're safe? I don't know about that. I don't know if they're in for buying him, Newcastle.
Now, so hang on, doesn't Kennedy have one of them clauses about how many minutes he's allowed to play?
Oh, really?
Somebody does, don't they? There is a player on that.
Okay.
Is it Kennedy?
I'm sure the guys will tell us, but if that's a thing, Richie, then I'm not aware of it, but it could well be.
It might not be him. It might be somebody else. But I know that there is a player out on loan at the moment because I remember reading about it and thinking that's an interesting one because if you're safe, you just stop playing them, wouldn't you? If it's going to cost you more money.
Is it like a pay-as-you-play thing or something, is it?
It's like he's on loan, but if he goes over this amount, it costs them.
Okay, all right. So one to look out for then. But if
I think who that is.
Put that to one side, Kennedy is a nice pick, I think. But if they are going to manage his minutes, and he's automatically becomes a bad pick.
I think that there's quite a lot of nice picks at Newcastle at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't see Everton being that strong a force.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go. Yeah. So let's talk about Everton then. So Newcastle going to Goodison Park.
Yeah.
Everton picks in your free hit. Who are you thinking? No. Okay. All right. I'm going Baines, and I
why though?
Well, I just think they could get a penalty in that game. I don't think that game's going to be amazing, right? I just think it's going to be a bit of a dull affair. I think Newcastle are going to go up there. They're safe. I just can't see. I
mean, I can understand the Baines pick more than I would say a Tooten or an attacking player because there's, I suppose, if Newcastle don't turn up for any reason, there's a good chance of Everton keeping a clean sheet.
I just didn't fancy Everton players. I'm looking at my front eight. I'm thinking, look at this nice talent, and I'll put Tosin in there. No, I don't think so. Not really.
And that's the thing with Everton is I looked at the Everton team and thought I don't fancy any of you.
Well, yeah, and Felix is saying so. Baines for attacking returns. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Why not? I mean, why not? I mean, it's a bit of a differential again.
Not done much this season.
Mr. Bombastic is saying Everton are a shambles.
I agree.
Also true. FPL as is saying Everton on the bench since November, on the beach since November. Yeah, quite possibly.
I don't trust Everton as far as I can throw him, hence none in my team.
Okay, well, Cy Greggs has just said a nice differential. So Balassi, I think Balassi is a nice differential.
You've talked about him before, maybe.
He's got to have that Arnautovic or Zaha place, though, probably, hasn't he? Because at least 3 of those midfield slots are going to be City or Liverpool, at least, if not 4. So you're talking about 1 or 2 slots for a non-City or Liverpool. And there's a lot of options there, isn't there? Arnautovic, Zaha, Millie, Balassi. I mean, there's a lot to consider there.
It's a really funny game week, this one, because although you're short on teams, you're not short on options, really.
Yeah, Mr. Bombastic saying Walcott. We're forgetting Walcott. Yeah. I mean, do you put him on the list as well? It's tough, isn't it? It's tough to choose. There is a lot of choices there. But for me, I just think that the stats and the form suggest that Zaha, I mean, Palace have been a totally different proposition since he's been back. So I fancy him over Millie. I know there'll be a penalty in that game, and I'll regret it. But I fancy Zaha. We just talked about the wealth of options in our midfield, and you want a double Palace? Really? I don't know about that.
We've got double Palace.
Well, right now I'm treble Palace.
It's just, and you're
Jamal will be all over that.
And you're talking to me about. Look, I mean, at least I picked their best 2 players.
Okay, all right, okay. But Arnautovic, I like, and I think he was unlucky not to get at least a goal against Stoke the other night. At least a goal. So, and I don't think he fancies Chicharito or Carroll up there just yet. So I think Arnautovic is going to play, and I think he'll play in that position again.
Burnley.
Very quickly, because we're at the top of the hour. So Burnley
going to beat Stoke.
I think they are. I mean, I worry a bit about Stoke. They've got. I mean, the Burnley game is tough. Then it's Liverpool, I think, or maybe there's another fixture in between. But
no, then it's Liverpool. Yeah,
but they do look dead and buried. I mean, despite Crouch seems to he's scored a couple of goals recently. But if you're relying on Crouch to keep you up, you'll be struggling. I mean, he's 37. I mean, crikey.
Is he 37 now?
Yeah, Crouch is 37.
Wow.
There's more pictures of him on the golf course than there is on the training pitch. And Shaqiri's at his form. I think he's maybe he's even resigned a little bit now to we're going to go down, and he's maybe his head being turned. Diouf looks just a poor pick in my opinion, a poor pick. So for me, I think that is Burnley. They're going to be energised by going for the Europa League, right? I mean, absolutely incredible scenes if they get European football next year.
Oh, I love it if Burnley do.
Absolutely incredible.
I think I've just drawn on you again.
Drawn on me again?
I think so.
Brilliant, thanks for that. So absolute scenes if Burnley get Europa League football. I mean, what a job he's doing.
I love it if Burnley do that.
Brilliant, great for the club.
Subsequently, I've got 2 Burnley players.
I'll have you. Okay, so who are you thinking from Burnley? Long.
Well, obviously. Clearly I'm keeping the legend that is Long.
Long, the legend. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And Pope.
Oh, double. Okay, double. Oh, interesting. I'm not sure I double on defence, but yeah, okay.
Well, where do you see Stoke scoring a goal?
Well, at the moment I'm doubled on Palace defence, so who am I to question? You're up there in Jamal levels this week. Up on 116 points, so I'm definitely not going to question your double Burnley defence. I will have at least one Burnley defender. Probably not long, just because...
You've got him, haven't you?
Just because he annoyed me, though, this week. He is currently in there, but I have got 2.4 in the bank, so I might just go for whoever the premium Burnley defender is, just because...
Is there one?
Is there one? Yeah, I don't know. Tarkovsky, maybe? I don't know.
What happened to Loughton? You had Loughton?
Yeah, Loughton, yeah, he can't be premium, though, is he? And actually, Long, if you look at Long's stats, as well as the goal, I'm interested to see how he performs against Chelsea. He's getting up there and actually making some, getting efforts on target and being in dangerous positions. So maybe I'll keep him. But for me, yes, I'm with you. I think it will be Burnley 2 in that game. I can't see too much for Stoke, sadly. I think they are a little bit.
I think Stoke are going down.
I think they are a little bit dead and buried, sadly. I think that's it. That's all the games covered. So your free hit, just in summary, then you're going to be looking at a couple of Burnley, 3 Man City, 3 Liverpool, and the rest kind of picks it. A couple of Palace.
3 City, 3 Liverpool, 2 Palace, 2 Newcastle, 2 Burnley, 1 West Brom and 2 Arsenal.
Okay, nice. Okay, I like it.
The West Brom one, by the way, is just my other keeper.
Foster. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not going to play him, so might as well stay there.
Okay. Would you not just go and get like a 3.9 keeper and just have more money in the bank?
Why? Why do I need more money in the bank? I've got 3.5 in there as it is.
Okay, so go on. So this is my team. I think it's getting there. Baines and Chambers I like. Van Dijk could become Robertson if I feel risky, but probably not. Long I think will be there. Van Aanholt I think will be there. Hennessy won't be. That could become Karius. Salah, Arnautovic, Sterling, Zaha, Salah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Aubameyang, Jesus, Perez. I'm reasonably happy with that, guys. I think apart from maybe Van Dijk to Robertson and obviously the keepers, there's a few Liverpool decisions I've got to make. And to be honest, I'm staying flexible with those anyway, based on what Anfield Express says. Because if that team gets leaked again, then the Liverpool changes could.
That was Saturday morning.
Could change, right? Yeah, it could change. Before we go, guys, because we're at the top of the hour. Before we go, I absolutely want to. Let's just make sure that this stream's gone red for a second. So hopefully that's not coming across. Hopefully the stream is still okay. I have done a poll. So top right in the polls, get on there right now. You've got a couple of minutes to do that. Check out the little eye in the top right hand corner, and I've done an update on what Jeff suggested in the last vlog, which was how many points have you got this double game week. So I've updated it so that I think the minimum is now like 40 to 49, 50 to 59, and I think it's like 80 plus or something, 70 plus. So 30 seconds just to do that, guys.
While you're doing that, Jammy pick for the week is going to be...
very good. Forgot about Jammy picks. Yeah.
Well, as I thought about it. It's going to be Matt Ritchie from Newcastle.
Okay, under 5% owned, I assume.
1.9%.
Very good.
Nice differential territory. Fancy them this week.
Okay, top points pick. Top points pick in a free hit team could be a lot of people, couldn't it? I found
Salah against West Brom, surely.
It's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be, and I think even with the risk of rotation, I still think he plays. It's West Brom. They're bound to sit deep.
They did just beat Man United, so you never know. But...
Yeah, but I keep coming back to this City team that's going to turn up, be full strength, have the guard of honour, play, completely relaxed and do whatever they want. I think someone from that City team is going to come out and make a statement. I think it could be Raheem Sterling, Could be somebody like Raheem Sterling. So let's have a look, guys, at the polls. So here's the little eye. How many double game week points so far? Shall I vote for you or for me? Actually,
we're both in the same category.
Yeah, it's the same. Actually, I probably should have done the parameters a bit different, because actually no one's got 40 to 49, no one's got 50 to 59. Looks like everyone's having, I think, a reasonable game week now that Lukaku and Kane have got a goal apiece. Everyone's points have jumped up a little bit, so I've probably got the parameters wrong. As usual, another very, very slick and brilliant lead poll from FPL Family. 60 to 69 points, 17% of you. 70 to 79 points, 28% of you. And then over 80 points, 54. So, yeah, absolutely. I probably should have put another bracket up there, because it would have been interesting to see who's in the 100 club. Absolutely, who's in the 100 club. So, with that, guys, thank you for sticking with us until, well, in the UK it's 20 to 11. So it's very much past our bedtime.
Gosh,
thank you for joining
tired.
us. Absolutely. Micah McClatchy, I've got to say this, because he's been shouting in capital letters Gundogan all through the live stream, and that's a very, very good pick. We haven't talked very much about Gundogan.
No, we haven't talked about Gundogan, and to be fair, he's the overlooked one, I think.
Yes, and he fancies him as a jammy pick. He was shouting Gundogan all the way through that live stream, so we've got to say Micah Gundogan. I look forward to talking to you on the next vlog, Micah, about how Gundogan has got on in your free hit team, if you're free hitting, assuming you are.
Do you know what I don't like about this game, though, just before we go?
What?
1 3 o'clock game on Saturday. 1.
That just means a lot's on TV, though, right, surely?
But one game on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I think the Liverpool game is on TV Saturday lunchtime. Then it's the Spurs Cup game in the evening, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to Wembley.
Oh, you're going, aren't you? Of course, you're going. And then
Don't
on Sunday,
forget, because you're looking after the kids.
Well, no, I won't forget. No, I won't just be out. Yeah, with my phone off. Yeah, I will be here. So thank you for Andy Golf Pro. Have you finished the sticker album yet, Lee? I haven't, mate. I haven't.
How many got left to get?
Not many, actually. I've completed a few teams thanks to Andy's free codes and what have you. But
Max is loving it.
Yeah, our little boy is loving that. I've completed like Croatia and Egypt and a few other random teams, but we're getting there, Andy. I will be finished before kickoff in Russia. Absolutely. So guys, thank you for joining us at FPLFamily on Twitter, at FPLFamily on Instagram. We will do the Instagram thing. We will do it. You need to remember your password, and we will do it for the next vlog. We will be coming to you, talking about the next vlog, we will be coming to you Sunday night, as usual. Our usual
the game
Sunday
week
night.
won't be finished, but we'll be coming to you again before the end of the game week.
It feels like we're always coming halfway through a game week. Is there a game on Monday night then?
There is Everton and Newcastle.
Newcastle, okay. So we'll have most of the data about our free hit teams and how they've done come Sunday night. So we will have a pretty good view, I think, of how everyone's doing in game week 35. So we will see you then. Until then, hit that like button if you like the videos. Thank you again for joining us so late in the UK. Yes, hit that subscribe button. As I said at the beginning, 951 subscribers now, thanks to Shuvik. So 951 subscribers. Thank you for joining us again tonight, and we will see you on Sunday. Until then, good night.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.